This is Jarrod Horak, and in this video, I'm going to analyze the Clark Stakes at Churchill Downs on Friday, November 28th. It goes as the 11th race. This is a Grade 2 event with a $600,000 purse for 3-year-olds and up, mile and an eighth on the main track, scheduled post time 5:54 p.m. Eastern Time. First, we'll meet the field, then I'll give out my contenders from last to first. Number 1 in here is Cooke Creek for trainer Mike Maker. Francisco Arrieta is going to ride this one. He's 12-1 morning line. He should impact the pace from the inside post. He's one of 2 runners in this event for Maker. Number 2 in here is First Mission. Brad Cox trains this one, and this is one of 2 runners for Brad Cox. Flavian Pratt's going to ride. He's 5-1 morning line. He's a multiple graded stakes winner. Number 3 is Hit Show for Brad Cox. This one is an 8-time stakes winner. Jarrod Ortiz Jr. is going to ride this one at 3-1 morning line. He'll try to get involved from off the pace. Number 4 is Gosger for trainer Brendan Walsh. He's putting blinkers on in this event. Luis Saez rides back. He's got good tactical speed. He's a 3-year-old taking on older company. Number 5, Chunk of Gold, is a 3-year-old as well. And this one exits a big victory against Optional Claiming Company last time at a mile and an eighth at Keeneland. He'll probably be forwardly placed. Number 6, Rattle and Roll for trainer Kenny McPeak. This one is a multiple graded winner, and he won the Grade 2 Clark last fall. And he's one that likes to get involved from off the pace. He was second in the Fayette Stakes in his last start, and he reconnects with his winning rider, Brian Hernandez Jr., 7-2 morning line. Number 7, Houday. This one is a 30-1 long shot. He's an Ohio bred. He has an 8-13 record, and he'll probably stalk the pace under Luan Machado. Number 8, Willy D's for trainer Mike Maker. This one likes to be forwardly placed. He set the pace in the Lucas Classic last time out, and he weakened to finish 7th of 7. Number 9, Magnitude, rounds out the field. Another 3-year-old taking on older company. Steve Asmussen trains this one. Jose Ortiz is going to ride, and he owns early pressing versatility. Now I'll give out my contenders from last to first, and the horse that I picked to finish 9th and last is the 8 in here, and that is Willy D's. And I was disappointed with his effort last time. He was 10-1 last time out in the Lucas Classic, and he was in good form heading into that race. He had just finished second in the Charlestown Classic, tracking the pace and finishing a clear second that day. And he won a little stakes race at Horseshoe Indy before that, going wire to wire. So he was able to get out there in the Lucas Classic and set the pace, but he couldn't keep going. He weakened to finish 7th and last in a 7-horse field, beaten a dozen lengths. And Mystic Dan won that event. Disarm was second, and Banishing was third that day. So now he's going to be even facing some tougher company in here. This is a quality field from top to bottom, and he could be forwardly placed, but some others in here also have speed. The horse that I picked to finish 8th is the 1, Cooke Creek, and he can impact the pace from the inside post, just like he did in the Battery Park last time out at Delaware in the mud at a mile and an eighth. He got out there, he set the pace, adding blinkers that day, and he won by 3 lengths. So from the inside post, you have to think that they want to get him forwardly placed in this event. He's a 2-time winner at Churchill. He's won twice at a mile and an eighth. But his other graded races, that race last time, that Battery Park, was a listed stakes race. And his graded races, the Razorback in February, he was 13th of 14. Before that, the Grade 3 Louisiana, he was 6th in an 8-horse field. The Grade 2 Clark last fall, he tracked the pace and he ended up finishing 6th in an 8-horse field. He was beaten 7 lengths. The horse that I picked to finish 7th in here, that's Houday, number 7. And this one, as I said, he's an Ohio bred. He has a good overall record, 8-13. He has 2 seconds and a third. He's won at Churchill before. He hasn't run at a mile and an eighth yet, but he did win twice at a mile and a quarter, defeating Ohio bred Stakes Company last year, last October, and then this October as well. And he won that last race by a head, and it was more than 10 lengths back to the show finisher. So for this one, tougher company here because he did face graded company before. In the Grade 3 ACAC, he was 4th in a 7-horse field. And the Ellis Park Derby, he did finish 3rd. That was a listed race last year. And then the Grade 3 Matt Wynn, he ended up finishing 2nd that day. He was the favorite. And then the Grade 2 Pat Day Mile last year, he was 4th. So typically when he steps up to face graded company, he's just not quite good enough to handle that company. And that could be the case in this spot as well. The horse that I picked to finish 6th that'll be Chunk of Gold number 5 in here. And he's one of the 3-year-olds, and he's definitely talented, and he's consistent. 9 starts with 3 wins in 5 seconds. So 8 of 9 starts he's finished in the exacta. And he's run 4 times at a mile and an eighth, 2 wins and 2 runner-up finishes. He's 0 for 2 at Churchill Downs with a runner-up finish. That was a nice victory last time against Optional Cleaning Company at Keeneland, and he was able to get out there in that 3-year-old event against 5 rivals, and he just set the pace, and he romped by more than 8 lengths. He earned a decent speed rating, and since they added blinkers to his equipment back in August in the West Virginia Derby, he went to the front that day. Then in the Bourbon Flight, he ended up chasing the pace. Brother Kenny ended up winning that when it was only a 3-horse field, and he chased that rival. He was clearly second best that day, and then he was able to run off the screen last time. And then Brother Kenny did come back and win the Zia Park Derby earlier this week. So for Chunk of Gold, they want to get him forwardly placed. They can see that he likes to be up there because since they added blinkers, he's wired the field twice. But this is a tougher field. Other horses will probably be coming after him. They have some speed as well, and we'll see if he's able to get out there and set the pace. That's probably his best chance for success in this event. The horse that I picked to finish 5th, last year's winner, number 6, Rattle and Roll, and he's going to need pace help. That's going to be the key for this one. But he definitely loves Churchill Downs, and he has a good overall record. He's 10 for 28, 3 seconds and 3 thirds. Churchill record, 10 starts, 4 wins, a second and 3 third place finishes, and he's earned more than $800,000 at Churchill. He's also a 4-time winner at a mile and an eighth. So there's some things to like here. As I said, he won this race last year. Then they took him to Saudi Arabia. He won a Grade 3 prep race for the Saudi Cup, but then in the Saudi Cup, he was beaten a dozen lengths. Then they ran him in the Dubai World Cup. He was 8th that day in an 11-horse field. Hit Show won that event. He's back here. And then in the Lucas Classic, he needed that return. First start back from Dubai, he was 6th, beaten 11 lengths. And then last time, he moved forward in the Grade 3 Fayette, rallying from 13 lengths back in an 11-horse field, going from 11th to 2nd, beaten a length behind Hit Show. So Rattle and Roll, if he can get some pace help, he should be rumbling in the stretch. But I'm not sure that this race is going to have a breakneck pace. He's going to definitely need some honest fractions in here. I think they will be honest, but I don't know if they're going to be fast enough to set him up to win this event. The horse that I picked to finish 4th, that will be Hit Show. And for Hit Show, he's fairly consistent for Brad Cox. He's 11 for 22, so he's won half of his career starts. He's 9 for 19 on fast dirt. He's a 5-time winner at a mile and an eighth, 2-time winner at Churchill Downs, 8 stakes wins overall, including the Grade 3 Fayette last time. And he also won the Dubai World Cup earlier this year. That's where he got most of his $8 million in career earnings, defeating Forever Young. And Forever Young just didn't run his best race that day, but Forever Young did win the Breeders' Cup Classic this fall. And for Hit Show, he likes to rally from off the pace. And from post 11 last time in the Grade 3 Fayette, he rallied from 6th place, and he won that race by a length under his new rider, Irad Ortiz Jr. And Ortiz will probably put him somewhere in mid-pack. He has more tactical speed than I mentioned Rattle and Roll, who won this race last year. But Hit Show has more tactical speed than that one, and he was able to defeat that rival last time because he got the jump on him. And that's probably the kind of trip that they're going to want to work out in this event. The horse that I picked to finish 3rd, that will be the 9 Magnitude. And Magnitude is a 3-year-old with 10 starts, 4 wins, 2 seconds, and a 3rd place finish. And he's 1 for 3 at Churchill, and he's run well in his 2 starts at a mile and an eighth. And one of those races at a mile and an eighth was his breakthrough victory, because earlier in his career, he didn't really seem to be going anywhere. He was in the Iroquois Stakes as a 2-year-old. He was beaten 12 lengths. He was in the Gun Runner Stakes. He was a distant 2nd. And then he put it all together in the Risen Star when they aggressively handled him, and he was able to get to the front from post 12. And he just romped that day, earning a strong speed rating as a 43-1 long shot. And it looked like he was going to be right in there as a Derby contender, but he was injured, lost some time, and he was off from February till July. And then the Iowa Derby, he picked up where he left off in the Risen Star, and he romped by 9 lengths that day as the heavy favorite going wire to wire. In the Travers Stakes, he set a pressured pace that day. Bracket Buster pressured him on the lead, and he folded. He was 3rd, beaten 20 lengths in that 5-horse field. Sovereignty romped by 10 lengths that day, and Bracket Buster was clearly second best. And Bracket Buster would come back and win his next start. And then Magnitude in his next start, the Grade 1 Pennsylvania Derby, he showed a different running style. Now, he was having a lot of success going to the front in the Risen Star and the Iowa Derby, but then in the Pennsylvania Derby, he rallied from seventh place that day, and he was not ever far off the lead, but he was able to rally and finish second, a clear second behind Baeza, who was also rallying from off the pace, and then Goal Oriented was third. So Magnitude from the outside post, he's going to reunite with Jose Ortiz, and Jose Ortiz rode him in the Gunrunner Stakes and the Lecomte Stakes. And we'll see what kind of running style that they're going to use here. He has the outside post, so for whatever reason, if other horses don't want to go, he can just get out there and probably set the pace. Otherwise, they're probably going to try to track the pace while out in the clear and try to get the jump on the late runners. The horse that I picked to finish second is another 3-year-old, and that's the 4 Gosger, and he is 4-1 morning line, and he is adding blinkers. Now, the key to him could be his tactical speed. I like his tactical speed, and this time he doesn't have a wide post, because going all the way back to the Preakness Stakes, that day he ended up, after winning the Grade 3 Lexington as my top choice, he was my live long shot in the Preakness. Journalism was my top choice, and Journalism had all that trouble, and Gosger stayed out of trouble from the outside post. He tracked well in the clear. He opened up a 5-length lead, but Journalism did run him down. But he was clearly second best at 15-1. And then in the Haskell, from post 6 in an 8-horse field, he bobbled at the start. He tracked wide. He had the lead. And then Journalism ran him down there, and he did finish second, beaten a half length. The Pennsylvania Derby, post 9 in a 10-horse field, stumbled at the start. He was wide early, never really got a trip at all there. You can draw a line through that one, 6th, beaten 11 lengths. And then in the Fayette, post 10 in an 11-horse field, he was wide throughout there, tracking the pace, tracked the pace, led, and he finished third that day, a clear third, a neck behind Rattle and Roll. So his second start against older company with a better post position. They're putting blinkers on, and I think that he's going to track the pace in here and get a good trip. And that's the kind of trip I'm expecting my top choice to get in here, that good tactical trip, and that is the 2 First Mission. So I've always liked First Mission. He's one that's won multiple stakes races in his career. They tried to make him a Grade 1 winner multiple times, just never was able to break through in the graded ranks, and this is his final career start. So for First Mission, 6 for 15 in his career with 3 seconds and 2/3. He's banked more than $2.2 million. He's won at Churchill Downs before with 4 starts, a win, a second, and a third. He's won a couple times at this 1 1/8 distance. So for First Mission, ground-saving tactical trip is likely. I liked him all the way back when he won the Lexington Stakes as a 3-year-old, and then I was going to make him my top choice in the Preakness. He ended up scratching out of the Preakness, and he had a good year. Even in 2024, he won a couple races with more than $800,000 in earnings. He won the Grade 3 Essex and Grade 2 Ali Sheba, and that Ali Sheba was at Churchill Downs. And then this year, he's just got 1 win from 5 starts, but he's finished in the top 3 in 4 of 5, and that 1 win was the Grade 2 Oaklawn Handicap under Flavien Prat, and he tracked the pace from post 3, and he won that race by 2 lengths, getting the jump on the late runners there. He was the favorite, and since that Oaklawn Handicap in the Stephen Foster, they tried to make him a Grade 1 winner. He set the pace from the inside post. He just wasn't as good as Mindframe and Sierra Leone, but he did hold third that day. And then in the Philip Island, that was a disappointing effort. He was 20 cents on the dollar. He ended up finishing second, beaten 3/4 of a length, clearly second best. They took him out to California and tried to make him a Grade 1 winner in the Grade 1 Goodwood. Nevada Beach, 3-year-old, defeated him there. He just never really fired that day. And the pace in that race was below par, and Umberto Rispoli was riding him for the first time. So maybe he just didn't know the horse, but we know Pratt knows the horse because he rode him so perfectly in that Oaklawn Handicap. So I think Pratt's going to give him the right trip in here. I think he's going to get the exact kind of trip that he got in the Oaklawn Handicap, track the pace from 4th. I can see him doing that again in here, saving some ground, getting the jump on the closers. It's just going to be a question of, can he get back to his best speed ratings, because his best speed ratings are definitely good enough to beat this field. Let's see if he can do that, if he can get back to his best form in his final career start. He did have a bullet workout at Churchill Downs, 5 furlongs and 59 and change, best of 33. That was on November 14th. The First Mission will be my top choice in the Clark. And if you're interested in my full card analysis, this is the closing week of the Dalmar Fall Meet, and I'm covering full cards November 28th, 29th, and 30th, all 3 days this week. And then next week, I'm going to be doing a full card next Saturday, December 6th, Cigar Mile Day at Aqueduct, and I'm going to be doing full cards each day that Santa Anita runs for their classic meet beginning on December 26th. You can find my full cards at therunawayhorse.com on my shop page. Don't forget to like, comment, and share these videos if you like them. Subscribe to my channel as well. It's free to subscribe. And until I see you next time, good luck at the races.